So the next chapter is all about the actual movements, because we haven't really talked about moving yet, have we? We've talked about just the music and moving to it, but we haven't actually drilled down into any specific movements themselves, and that's what we're going to talk about next. So let's now look at the 6 principles of dance. And this is broken down into the real basic fundamental principles that dance is built from. It's not about starting with pirouettes and pliés or being a fantastic choreographer. It's just about getting the kids to understand these basic fundamental things that all choreography stems from. And with that, they can build absolutely anything, and it makes it so much better for them. Rather than being spoon-fed all the dancers and all the moves, they're actually coming up with them themselves, which is so much better, and you get so better results, don't you? It's all about them. So the 6 principles of dance are travelling, so you're in one spot and you're moving off the spot, maybe coming back to that spot or moving to a different spot in the room. Turning or rotating is just a change of direction. Jumping or leaping is leaving the ground. Balance and stillness, stillness being like a photograph, balance being unstable and working hard not to fall over. And then all those 4 are your basic fundamental moves. Then you've got moving those moves in different planes or levels, and then adding on some interest with a story, a gesture, or a character, or an idea of who you're meant to be. And with those 6 principles, you can create absolutely anything.
I think as well, so you've got your 32 count music structure, and then you've got your content, which is your 6 principles. You're there, really, aren't you?
You don't need anything else.
You don't. We can theme it, which we're going to show you how to do that. But generally, once you understand what should be in your choreography, you need to be able to travel or turn or jump, or add some balance. It makes it much more interesting. So using different levels and planes of movement makes travelling, turning, jumping and balance so much more interesting. And then add a story to that, or a theme or a style, and you've done it. There's your primary dance done. It's not difficult. It's not rocket science. It's probably one of the easiest things you can teach in the end, and the most enjoyable as well. So in a moment, we're going to show you how we're going to theme our movements for the circus. So we have the clown, which we're going to be using levels with turning. We have the tightrope walker, which will be balance and travel. The show horse, so that's lovely, lots of leaping and jumping everywhere and travelling around. And then the strong man, which will be much more about control and balance and using the different levels. So you can see we've used all the different principles of dance. We've just themed them. The kids will probably do this automatically anyway, but if you can see what you're trying to create, and I know some teachers have the 6 principles in big posters on the wall, so the children can say, oh yeah, I've got my travelling steps in and I've got my turning steps in, and they use that as their reference, and that's a really nice way to do it. So that's how you would kind of set it up, really. We'd look at the 6 principles, and then we'd look at how we would theme them. So here are Jack and Morgan showing you how they would do their clown. So here are Jack and Morgan, and they're standing on their coloured spots. We're getting ready to do their regular beat. They're only little. So here we go, they're clowns, they're moving around their spot, using their levels, pretending to juggle, picking their feet up, having a lovely time being a clown. And we'd probably do 32 to 64 counts of this just to get them into it. And then here we go. We're having a look at their tightrope walker. So they're just demonstrating the moves that the children might come up with, or you might be demonstrating yourself. Nice and easy. So a little bit of a wobble going on. Tightrope walker. Oh, here they go with their show horses. Lovely. Jumping and leaping. Oh, Jack, yes. Lovely little show horse there. Oh, there's the mane. Excellent. And the last one is their strong man. So we're using levels with balance. Lovely.
And that's the slow beat as well.
That's the slow beat, yeah. So we've used lots of different lovely beats, and we've managed to squeeze in the 6 principles. Well done, team.
So when we are teaching these moves, we're going to allow the younger children to do at least 32 counts on one move, and it gives their little brain enough time to get that message down to their body to get them to do exactly what they should be doing. If you're doing it too quickly, they sort of don't get it, and they're not sure what's going on, and you've moved on before they've had time to really understand and practice what they need to do.
I think if they want to be, if you say to them, we want you to be a clown, they want to be a clown for at least a minute.
Oh yeah, they want to be that clown, don't they?
In the moment, they want to be that clown. You know, they don't want to be a clown for 8 beats. That's no good to them, is it? And it just gives them more time to express themselves. So I think for the younger children, at least 32 counts.
Yeah, and or then, even 64. They could do two blocks of 32.
Absolutely. Just kind of go with your gut feeling on that.
Yeah. And when they get older, you can start to shorten that. Their brain is a little bit more able to switch moves more quickly. And that's the hard thing. Doing the move is easy. It's the brain telling you need to change moves, and that's the hard thing. So as children get older, you can start to really cut that down, and they can do one move, then another move, shorten that bit by bit. Obviously, don't go straight into that. Cut it down by doing 16 counts, then 8, then 4, and then maybe even 2 if it's something that's really choppy and sharp and really slick. But use them to guide you. Don't do that cutting it right down if they're just not able to get that kind of slickness and they're just sort of all over the place. Then give them chance to really get those moves. But for little ones,
it's the 32 count phrase.
Yeah.
I think I use the music as another way to progress. So if you've got a group of children who are really into it and they're really able and really talented, then you would use the music to challenge them a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you wouldn't keep them doing the same movement for 8 beats. You'd do it for 2, 4 or 2. And then you'd speed it up and speed it up and speed it up until they were really having to focus on their timing and not only their performance but their timing. And I think it's a really good way to progress children, isn't it?
Absolutely.